Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of season 3 here in the Inter Milan career mode. In the last one, I asked you guys for your suggestions for new centre-back and right-back options. We've got a number on the shortlist, thank you. I also asked you to vote on which of our current 3 central midfielders that are potentially going to be moved on, you would like to move on as a priority. With a whopping 65 or so percent, it was actually Vecino that was the player that you decided we should move on. It was between Vecino, Gagliardini and Brozovic, and it was Vecino with 60-odd% of the vote that you guys decided to move on, so he should be the man that moves on. We're still trying to look for a move away for Godin and Aurier. Obviously, like we mentioned, we're looking to bring in a new centre-back and right-back. So right-back, we have an option of Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's currently only 83 rated, but looks decent technically, and obviously is a good all-round attacking and defensive wing-back. Offers plenty of option. Obviously, rather good with regards to his crossing and his vision. As per the Champions League semi-final the other night, Odriozola is another option at 84, slightly higher rated, slightly quicker, slightly better physically, and better in the tackle, but not quite as good offensively, although 88 crossing is still pretty decent. And then there's Nelson Semedo, who used to be at Barcelona. He's now also at Tottenham. So I'm thinking I'll have one of the 2 Tottenham right-backs, to be completely honest. They've also got Joao Cancelo at Tottenham too. Formerly of Juventus, one of the players that we initially ruled out. He's just moved to Tottenham in this window. So I think I'm going to go for Trent Alexander-Arnold after his exploits in midweek. So I'm going to try and sign him at right back. If not, I'll probably go for Nelson Semedo instead. Why would they need Nelson Semedo, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Joao Cancelo? Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, at centre back, options include Rafael Varane at Real Madrid. Does have a buy now clause or release clause of £93.5 million. I could potentially get him a little bit cheaper though. Samuel Umtiti, 90 rated, valued higher, but also in real life out of favour at Barcelona at present. The manager seems to be playing Longley instead alongside Piqué, so Umtiti is more of a realistic option, I guess. Matthijs de Ligt has just moved to Leipzig, so that's a no-go, unfortunately. We have Aymeric Laporte at Manchester City, of course, 88 rated, very well known and very capable centre-back. Presnel Kimpembe is another option, although I did use him in the Achievement League at Manchester United and wasn't too impressed, so he's further down on the list of go-tos. Clement Longley, as we mentioned, is at Barcelona, a good player, 86 rated here, not as good as Umtiti in game, so Umtiti will probably be the favourite and probably the more realistic with the way that things have been being played out in real life. Kalidou Koulibaly, 91 rated, 29 years of age at Napoli. Will be weakening a rival and also bringing in one of the highest rated centre-backs in the save, as would Virgil van Dijk, currently 91 rated at 29 years of age, would be weakening a potential European rival, and also, obviously, it's Virgil van Dijk, so easier. Oh, that's just an obvious one, isn't it? Then there's Eder Militao, who's also at Tottenham, but just gone there, so that's a no then. And as you saw at the bottom of the list, also from Paris Saint-Germain, is Marquinhos. Obviously, we lost Miranda through retirement at the end of the last season, so perhaps we could bring in another Brazilian centre-back. They did obviously have Lucio back in the day as well at Inter Milan. I'm pretty sure, let me just double check that. I'm almost certain Lucio played at Inter Milan for years, and indeed he did. Lucio was at Inter Milan for 3 years, so I knew I wasn't mistaken. Lucio was a Brazilian centre-back at Inter, so perhaps Marquinhos could be another realistic go-to. I'm not sure what to do at centre-back. I'm certainly going to go for Trent first. I'm leaning, actually, probably towards Umtiti because of his lack of first-team football in real life. And, in fact, he's 90 rated, which helps. So, I'm probably going to go for him. We'll start with Trent. I'll approach to buy, and we'll see if we can use Serge Aurier in the deal as well. Obviously, Aurier is formerly of Tottenham. That's where we bought him from in the first place. Would they like him back again? We shall use fullbacks, and then Serge is there at 16 million. They might want money plus him. Indeed, they do. That's great. I will offer 20 million plus Serge Aurier. Obviously, it does mean that we might end up playing slightly more than we would be if we went purely for cash. But obviously, we need to get Aurier out of the club, and in the first month, we haven't had any bids for him whatsoever. Quite happy to accept that, £27 million. Trent Alexander-Arnold looks like he's going to come in and be our starting right back. He's not amazingly high rated, but certainly would be very, very good for us. And after his spectacular performance against Barcelona in the Champions League in real life, and the fact that Tottenham have all of the other right backs in the save possible, I think we might as well go for him. And obviously, being an Englishman managing abroad, it might be nice to have an English player playing with me abroad as well. No release clause. He's got any idea what he would want wage-wise? No. I'll offer him 80, and we'll see if they'll accept that. They might want a raise rise. No, they're quite happy to accept 80 grand. Superb. Right, let's go for Samuel Umtiti then at centre-back. See if we can get this deal done. I will try and use Diego Godin in this deal as well. If they aren't keen on that, then I may have a little bit of problem selling Godin on in this window. Please, they do. Good. They also want 122 million. I'd very much rather avoid paying that sort of money. I would quite happily give you 80 million plus Diego Godin. But no, they seem rather adamant that they want over 100. I really don't want to pay over 100 if I can avoid it. So let's try 87 million or there or thereabouts. Give or take 100 grand. Right. Could you perhaps be slightly more open to negotiation? 92.9. Apparently, I can't say the word apparently, and apparently they're not really that open to negotiation either. One day later, and unacceptable, they want 122.9. I get it. He's 90 rated, but give me a break. Let's try £99.9 million. 100. I tell you what, Barcelona, you are a pain in my backside. I don't want to pay more than 110. Thank you. £105.9 million for Samuel Umtiti. He's currently on, is it 260 grand a week? We should have some wages freed up by, still currently on 270 grand a week. Should have some wages freed up by the movement of Godin going the other way. And the fact that they're giving me demands here hopefully will mean that they'll give me an idea of what they want wage-wise, so I don't accidentally undersell or oversell. Oh, that's superb. A wage cut of £105,000 a week just to get first team football. Done. 180? 200. Fine. Sold. Thank you very much. Welcome, Samuel Umtiti. We have 2 brand new defenders for our starting lineup. That will do me very nicely indeed. And we've still some money left for a potential deal in January as well. We still, of course, looking to sell on Vecino too. So we will have even more money available to us to move a further player in. But for now, Umtiti will go in there. And we'll do this. So I'm quite happy with that. De Vrij will drop to the bench. Trent Alexander-Arnold will come in at right back. We have Dalbert and then the young Babic and Bauer as options as rotation wing backs. I'm very, very pleased with that indeed. It means we can now strengthen the reserve side with the introduction of not Skriniar into that lineup, but the introduction of Stefan De Vrij into that lineup. And obviously, Nangolan is now in that starting lineup as well as Frenkie de Jong has come in. We signed him last season. Let's take Martinez out of that one and put Luka Jovic in there because Martinez is now starting in our first team. And we start this season with the game against Napoli, which we'll go to now. We'll play that one. We'll play SPAL away and sim Torino at home. Just makes sense to sim the home game because we've been struggling with away sims recently. Giordano's been loaned out, which is good news. We'll wait and see if we get any bids for Vecino, which I'm not expecting too many. So I might just I might not negotiate too hard for a deal if it comes in, but I'll cut. Saving you just sitting here watching me scroll through the days. I'll cut and then we'll come back if there's a deal. If not, I'll see you on the way into the game against Napoli. I'll transfer for Brozovic quickly, which we should reject. Had a scout report back on Eder Militao. He's only 82 rated, so certainly not worth waiting around for. Glad we made the decision to sign who we did. An offer for Vecino's come in from Bournemouth. I'll try and maximise what I can get from this, but I don't think I'm going to be able to push too hard considering he's 28 years of age. I'll ask for 24. Probably should have checked and seen what the executive reckoned he was worth. 19.1 is actually decent, but we'll try for 22. If not, we'll accept whatever they come back with next. 20.2, sure. £20 million for a 28-year-old that's nowhere near my starting lineup. We'll certainly do very nicely. It'll mean we've got a pretty healthy budget for the January transfer window, where we'll know by that point where else we need to strengthen. But Real Madrid apparently have beaten their rivals. I've been offered the Scottish international management job, which I certainly don't want, and Mateus Bauer is on his way back from injury, which is great. But time to take on Napoli. Samuel Umtiti in the starting lineup for the first time, as is Frenkie de Jong and Trent Alexander-Arnold. 2 90-rated centre-backs. Thank you very much. Really keen to see how good they could be for us this season. Let's see who they've got on top. Jose Martinez and Simone Zaza. We could go with Insigne up top instead, maybe. We'll leave Zaza there for now. Candreva, I'll put Insigne on the right-hand side of midfield instead there. David Alaba at left-back, Koulibaly and Balbuena, that makes sense. Marquis, yeah, that'll be all right. And Mere in goal, yep, certainly makes sense there as well. Right, Napoli are as strong as they could be. We're as strong as we could be. Game on. Here's Zaza. Space on the right-hand side, but they're not going to be able to find the man that's free there. Skriniar drawn out of position. Nicola Pepe trying to cover the angle, but Alaba still able to find Zielinski. It's a decent delivery, and Insigne wins the header. Rather disappointing from Alexandro to just switch off like that. Early chance for Napoli here on the opening day of the Serie A season, but thankfully Alban Lafont not drawn into any action there. Talking about Balbuena making his debut for Napoli, I'm not sure what to expect from them with regards to their overall league position. They haven't been challenging at the top the way that ourselves and Juventus have in seasons 1 and 2, but this is almost certainly going to be the final season here at Inter Milan, and we're definitely hoping to win all 3 trophies that are available to us. I'd very much like to win a treble this year. We've won Serie A in season 1. We didn't win anything in year 2, despite getting to the latter stages of the Champions League, and certainly very, very close to Coppa Nazionale final place. Disappointed to have not been able to pull the gap back against Juventus in the league as well, to be fair. Yeah, last year was kind of a close but no cigar, whereas this year I'd really very much like to improve. I've just noticed that it's defaulted to Trent Alexander-Arnold's number to number 4. I shall be sure to change that, as again we're ensuring that that number stays retired for Javier Zanetti here at Inter Milan, so I'll do that before the next game. Memphis will turn his side. Bruno Fernandes is making a good run, and Balbuena shrugged off then. I'll look for Nicola Pepe at the back post, and really wish he volleyed that, to be honest, because it would have fallen really nicely on his left-hand side. Great cross. Picks him up beautifully, but terrible header. Zaza. Said to Insigne into Zaza. Telles, okay, questionable in his attempt to take it off Insigne the first time, but certainly much better at attempt number 2. Oh, and space for Nicola Pepe to run into here. We've got Napoli on the back foot. Alaba's trying to close me down. He's fast enough, Alaba. Here's Bruno Fernandes. It's blocked well by Balbuena. Centre-back for them, making his debut, as we mentioned earlier on. Witnessing with Bruno Fernandes. And Skriniar could be underneath this. And he is. It's dipping, and it's Mere that tips it over the top. Just notice that it's 2 former Liverpool players going head-to-head here with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Jordan Henderson being involved for Napoli. Forgot that Henderson was there, even though they left him in the starting lineup earlier on. Trent trying to slow them down here, and he's done brilliantly to do so. No real side in the ascendancy in the opening first half of this new Serie A season. We've had chances. They've had a chance. They might be about to create a second here, and Titi denies them that opportunity. But Fabian will get that down to Zielinski. And Rabiot can't keep the ball away from the pole, but thankfully the pole gives it straight to him. So, oh no, we're not done yet. Nicola Pepe can't get rid of that. Skriniar can. Oh, beautifully done by Lautaro Martinez. Kalidou Koulibaly left all alone, and Memphis Depay's in a great position. Will that ball find him? No, Jordan Henderson defends it well. Nice tackle by Telles. Will drop free for me. A bit for Frenkie de Jong, but never mind. We could still go to Frenkie. It's Bruno Fernandes instead. Okay. Here's Lautaro. Nice footwork. And Memphis. Lovely ball through to Nicola Pepe. There's a 1-0 lead. That was beautifully worked. Nicola Pepe on the right-hand side, giving us a 1-0 lead. He scored a flurry of goals at the end of last season. Could have shot there with Martinez, but the little drag back and pass was actually really nice. Unintentional with the drag back. I didn't ask him to do that. It's just what happened with the movement of the left stick. But I don't think there is still a chance from that sort of range anyway. Thought he was going to go near post. Went there with his hands. The ball went the other way. 1-0 into Milan. Insigne. Cross blocked nicely by Bruno Fernandes. Just knock that down to Frankie. Get out to Nicola Pepe. Take her time. Trent hasn't had the opportunity to get too far forwards yet. But with the pace he's got, and Nicola Pepe has on this right-hand side, it really should be quite a challenge for a number of defences. And Nicola Pepe is on one today, but not able to find the back of the net. Got crunched after the shot came in. They're making a change. Jordan Henderson going off with, I'm not sure who it was, replacing him. Do I make a change myself? I could do. We can maybe take Memphis off and bring on Politano on the left-hand side. Other than that, I'm not sure I'm going to make any further changes yet. Let's see what we can do in the final half hour. Alaba driving forward. Gets past Pepe nicely. Still going here. It's Frankie de Jong that's drawn out of position. Trent staying central, but Frankie didn't need any help at all. Rabiot forward there to Bruno Fernandes. Nicola Pepe was closely marked by David Alaba there. He's been switched on since Pepe scored the goal. Unfortunately for him, Pepe had already scored the goal. Politano driven forward. I'll pull this back, and Bruno Fernandes gets it under control. Hits the post, and Lautaro smacks it home. 2-0. And with 23 minutes to go, there's still time for more, but hopefully that'll be it. I'll take a 2-0 win. Slightly lucky that it came back to Lautaro there, but good second finish. Caramo with the throw. And there to Bruno Fernandes. Nangolan pushing forward. Both have come off the bench. Rabiot, well, that's set nicely for a left-footed strike. And boy, did he strike it. Wow. I want to see a replay of that, please. Inter 3, Napoli 0. That was a great hit. I didn't envisage it going that well. Cannoning down off the underside of the bar. Real clean strike from Adrien Rabiot. It wasn't as far in the corner as I'd hoped it would be, but it went in the back of the net. And that's the ultimate goal. Napoli 0, Inter Milan 3. Starting the season, hopefully, as we mean to go on. Alaba down the left. Oh, that's a decent ball in, you know. Titi does brilliantly to head it away. It would be great to get Titi and Trent a clean sheet on debut if we can. Alaba does well, but Caramo does even better. And Trent could look from here. Oh, some lovely ball over the top. Caramo will win that header. Or chest it. That's the other option, I suppose. And then stay on the ground forever. Trent Alexander. Well, there you go, Caramo. Run onto that instead then. Oh, I've got Insigne with me. Well, he's going to match me for pace. Bruno Fernandes will get to that, though. And Lautaro Martinez is there, as is the defender. And Donny van der Beek finds Zielinski. I'll have that, Tart. Rabiot. Float that out to Caramo. Bring it down. Find a teammate. There we go. Nangolan in space. Rabiot also. Sorely tempted, but won't do it again. Nangolan forward to Lautaro. There's Rabiot. Go on, then we will do it again. It'll drop to Bruno, and well tackled by Balbuena. Looks like we might be able to get Trent Alexander-Arnold and Samuel Umtiti a clean sheet on debut, certainly if we're going to press the defence into doing that, as there's only a minute and a half left. Great first game to this Serie A season, I think you'll find. Couldn't really have asked for more. Rabiot will try it again. Deflected and wide off Balbuena. I saw a secondary replay of the... Oh, we might win that. No, we haven't. Saw a secondary replay. Flick that over your head. Okay. Well, why not? I will finish that sentence. Saw a secondary replay of the Rabiot goal. It was headed more into the corner. Took a deflection off the defenders back in front of him that kind of hunched down. And that's what took it more central and off the underside of the bar. So, I don't know whether we'll be able to see that actually off a better replay. Let me click the right stick in here so I can maybe show you that. So I'm in the process of talking about it. So, we're aiming. It's going towards that top... Oh, let me get... It's going towards that top corner. And then takes the nick off the defender's back there, which changes the trajectory of the ball and goes off the underside of the bar. So it made it more emphatic, but it was going in anyway. So still a really solid start to the season. And we'll take that. Up next is SPAL. I'll play that one, and then we'll sim Torino at home, because even though SPAL are the easier team and the more likely to beat in a simulation, I can't risk simming an away game and playing the home game. So we'll play the away game against SPAL with a rotated side. He's now stronger, of course, with the new additions to the out-and-out first team. Vicino sold as well. He is gone. That's good news. And if the league table ends as it is right now, I'd be delighted. We're top. Up next, SPAL. Carlitos dinks that into Gagliardini. Bauer quickly forward to Brozovic and then out towards Caramo. Don't know what to expect from SPAL. you always seem to find in career mode that the small teams actually play really well against you, and it's the big teams like Napoli that always underperform most of the time. We found the opposite of that with Juventus, who have always been, once we use the sliders, a massive struggle. But Napoli really weren't that much of a test in the previous game. But I do genuinely expect SPAL to be more difficult, especially away from home. Whether that actually makes any difference or not in FIFA terms, I'm not sure. It certainly does in Football Manager, obviously, because it's more of a simulation. But we'll wait and see if we're able to pick SPAL apart the way that I hope we are, or will be able to. Politano's in, but unfortunately Vicari gets across to get the tackle in, so we won't have the first opportunity. Well, we might have the first opportunity now. Politano back to Nangola. I see the man stood on the edge of the box here. It's Jan Karamo. Oh, he's right-footed, but it's on his left and he's gone into the top corner. Oh, that's a finish and a half. Barely any power on it, but the precision was as such that the keeper couldn't get even close to it. I kind of hooked it almost with the left foot. It really wasn't much power on it at all, but it's just floated seemingly into that top right-hand corner. Karamo's cutting across the ball, and with not much power, yeah, it's just the accuracy. Keeper's getting nowhere near that. Really top finish. 1-0 Inter early on this time. Bauer. That's Karamo. There's Luka Jovic. Wasn't really sure where to go with that. Jovic's back nicely to Gagliardini, and Nangolan twisting and turning, trying to find a way through. Actually finds Jovic, who'll look for Nangolan again, and there's the second off the post. SPAL really not up to quality here. Napoli, Inter 2, SPAL 0 in the 18th minute. Doing much better in the first half here than we did against Napoli. We still ended up with a lovely result against the Naples side, but we might be romping home to a massive victory here if this start continues. 2 goals in 5 minutes and we're already out of sight. Babic forward to Nangolan. We'll look for a third perhaps. Just time the pass right for Luka Jovic. Gets it down under control. The shot blocked and cleared away. And there's the half-time whistle. Jovic's not yet gotten going in this first half, but there's still another 45 for him to get on the score sheet. Gagliardini. Out to Karamo. Brozovic out to Babic. Had much to do so far in the game, the wing-backs. Luka Jovic could play that through. Brozovic is onside here just, and, well, I think the least we say about that finish, or the less we say about that finish, the better. That was not his most impressive effort. Luka Jovic looking for an assist, considering he hasn't been able to give himself a goal so far. If that were roles reversed and Brozovic played it through to Luka, I dare say that would have ended up in the back of the net. Still looking for a third goal just to kill them off. We needed, well, not that we needed one. We got one. It's probably the better way to phrase it against Napoli. Will we get one against SPAL as well? I'm going to keep trying. I want Luka Jovic to get a goal because I'm desperate for him to have a good full season, good first full season here at Inter Milan after coming in halfway through the year last time from Mauro Icardi. But so far he hasn't gotten going, but SPAL haven't gotten going either, so it's fine. Glatzel. That was poor. Really poor, actually. Literally just passed it straight to me. See if we can build down the left-hand side. Babic. Nangolan is there and fed in well. Politano down the left. Got a lot of players back here, but Jovic, oh, good touch. Good strength to hold the man off as well. Gagliardini to Brozovic. There's Luka Jovic, and he puts it in the stand. That was not good. Politano, nice turn. Into Nangolan. Tackled by Lazzari, though. SPAL still trying their hardest to get back in it. They haven't been good enough so far. Here's Kurtic. Set to Viviani, forward to Poloski, tackled by Van Oysden. And we've worked it away really well. That was a lovely ball up to Karamo, who's just going to accelerate away here. And, well, not going to accelerate away. Yes, he is going to accelerate away. Through for Politano. In towards the middle, stand up towards the back post, and it's a poor cross. Brozovic to Nangolan. Politano's made the run again. I'm trying to get this to Luka Jovic. I want to get him a goal in this game, but there's just so many blue and white striped shirts in the way. I just can't quite squeeze it through. It's going to be 2-0 after an electric start. Unfortunately, the power ran out on our offensive play, but we were still able to get ourselves that 2-0 victory. Juventus also winning by 2-0 against Fiorentina. We were above them after the first game, and we will be above them after the second, although they aren't dropping any points at these early stages. Neither are Udinese, although there are still a couple of sides further down that are yet to play their second game, like AC Milan as well as Bologna. So we'll wait and see how many of us are still on a 100% record as we push towards the third and final game of the month, which will simulate at home against Torino, which hopefully will win. What I'm actually going to do is change the formation of that second string side. Now that Nangolan's in it, I might push him a little bit further forward and play the same formation as the first team, mirror that same 4-2-3-1, so that we can be a little bit more offensive with it in played games and in simulated games as well. Nangolan nearly joint top scorer. Loads of matches being rescheduled. That says to me that the Champions League has been drawn. I'll do the changing of that formation after the end of the episode. So let's go and sim Torino. We should get a pretty simple win in this game, I would like to think. And then we can have a look and see who we might be playing in the Champions League this year. Nicola Pepe with an early 1-0 lead. It's the earliest goal of the season so far. After 6 minutes. Lautaro Martinez with a second 8 minutes before half-time. And this should be another pretty simple, straightforward win for us, I'd like to think. This should be, theoretically, on paper, our best season. Because we are at the strongest our side has ever been. So, multiple trophies, I'd like to think, with the transfer for Lautaro Martinez from Manchester City, big one as well. I'd like to think that we could get ourselves multiple trophies this year. Luis Suarez to Chelsea in Season 2 for £71.4 million. Malcolm to PSG as well. Barcelona shelling out not much, I don't think. Who have they signed? Obviously, we've bought Umtiti. They've sold Suarez. Why is the Umtiti deal not the top deal of the window? I paid £100+ million for him. That's odd. Never mind. Barcelona involved in a lot of deals with players going out, but not sure if anyone's going to go in at Barcelona. Skriniar with a £95.3 million bid for him from Manchester United, which shall be swiftly rejected. Fairly quiet deadline day so far, though there's a big jump there, but it's not any of the largest deals there. De Ligt there. Oh, Miguelon's forehead has gone to Getafe from Villarreal for £4.6 million. Eventually they might patch that, or they might just not care. Loan offer for Bauer, we shall reject that. He's not going to Monaco, thank you. He's going to be heavily involved in our rotation side this season. I'm really keen to see who's in our Champions League group this year, because we had a tough one last year and we were fortunate to get ourselves out of it. It was we actually perhaps made harder work of it than we should have, but we did find it difficult to get out, but were able to progress. Only £312 million spent on deadline day. It is quite quiet. Those still being the three biggest deals. Let's have a look. We've got Atalanta, Udinese. So Atalanta, 4 deals out, 3 deals in. Bologna bringing in a number of new players. Cagliari doing the same. Chievo Verona doing the same. Everybody strengthening in this window in Serie A. Fiorentina with 53.9 in and 53.9 out. They've made a profit. They've made a loss of £20,000 in this window. Big window for Fiorentina. We'll wait and see how well they do in the league, thanks to that. Genoa with a number of players in as well. We obviously signed Umtiti and Alexander-Arnold, and Oye, Godin, Schultz, Gravion and Greco going out, although a number of those loan deals. Dubois, Hummels and Hakimi in at Juve, with Escudero and Cancelo going out, so Hakimi's their Cancelo replacement, although they do still have Dani Carvajal at the club. Lazio signing 3. Rodri, Florenzi, Vandenberg and Tumi in at AC Milan, so plenty of business done there as well. Napoli signing Balbuena, Odegaard and Brewster, with Tutino and Cruza going out. Acosta, Improta and Telar in at Palermo. Perugia, minimal. Roma signing Augustin and Vogt, and letting Marcano, Selar and Biandi go out. Spal, a little bit. Sampdoria, a little bit. Sassuolo, a little bit. Torino, a number of deals, but not much money involved. Udinese, number of players going out, but not much money involved. So, a lot of transfer deals done in Serie A, but not many massive fees. Transfer deadline day has ended. We'll have a quick look at the biggest transfer deals of that window. I'm surprised that, I don't know why Umtiti still didn't show up in the biggest transfer deals. Must just have glitched out because of the Godin involvement in it. But 105.9 from Titi. So Barcelona there have made 106, basically. 106, 176, 177, 177, 237, 238, 139, million ish. But they haven't signed anyone. Not as far as we can see anyway. Nobody going into Barcelona. So what's going to happen to them this season? I've absolutely no idea. They've really depleted. Oh, they signed Socrates from Arsenal. Well done, lads. That'll replace Umtiti, won't it? And Piqué's gone to Arsenal as well. They're going either way then. Oh, I'm not sure what's going to happen to Barcelona this year. They might really struggle. They might really struggle. We'll wait and see. That'll be very, very interesting, actually. In our Champions League group, we have CSKA Moscow, Manchester United and Ajax. Not an easy group, unfortunately, but we shall play our first Champions League games in tomorrow's episode. We remain top of the table. Ourselves, Sassuolo and Juventus, all of the 100% winning record thus far this season. And hopefully we can continue that for as long as possible. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any more. Of course, this series continues on a daily basis. But for now, I'll see you next time.